Welcome, my friends, to the Realms of Chaos, a nightmarish domain which the denizens of the Immaterium call home. So you might imagine, it's an important element of the Warhammer 3 narrative and campaign gameplay, and within these shifting tides of crystallized emotions, demons stir. It's where survival battles take place, it's where your fiercest fights and most difficult journeys will end. I'm going to try to keep this video as spoiler-free as possible, and I promise I won't reveal any important elements of the story that aren't shown in like the first 15 seconds of the game, but just realize that as part of the campaign mechanic straight from turn 1, you will learn who the Dying God is and what the ultimate goal of your playthrough shall be. So those are spoilers I can't really avoid. Perhaps, for those of you who want to go in naked and afraid, not knowing anything, there will be a few details you may or may not want to hear. Just a fair warning, I cannot accommodate everyone on this topic and still make videos about the campaign. Today, I want to show you guys a fairly simple trick involving the Realms of Chaos that will either give you an immensely powerful start to your session, or provide you with a comeback mechanic if the first 30 or so turns didn't really go your way. This boost will often snowball you completely out of control, and it may indeed get changed at some point, but at least for the moment, it provides a juicy foundation for you to expand your empire no matter which faction you're playing. Here, I am controlling Miao Ying and the northern provinces of Cathay, who have some of the strongest start positions in the game, and at around turn 30, Ursun the Bear God will roar in pain for the first time, tortured as he is by Be'lakor in the Forge of Souls. The torment he shares with the mortal plane will open rifts to the void 5 turns later, jacking chaos corruption in your provinces up to the max, and allowing demonic armies an avenue for their invasions. But where demons can enter our world, we can also enter theirs, and it is through these chaos portals that we can attack the Realms of Chaos and complete our campaign objectives. There are 4 of these domains to enter, and we can even traverse rifts to appear elsewhere on the campaign map if we want to snipe out the backside of the Empire or Scrag or whatever, but only one realm offers the exquisite boost that will kick your campaign into high gear: the Dark Prince's realm, the Kingdom of Slaanesh.
The Realm of Chaos, a place unbound. The constraints of the mortal dimensions have no effect here. Only the whims of the dark gods matter. Yet there are places where no ruinous power claims influence. In the Forge of Souls, Be'lakor lurks, and Ursun dies. Until we have the 4 Demon Prince souls, it will remain out of reach. The Dark Prince's realm. Temptation, lust, and gluttony abound in this realm of desire. Confronting Slaanesh's champion will not be easy, for they are found within the 6 circles of seduction. As you journey inward, know that you will be lured by temptations beyond any your tepid imagination could conjure. In the center lies the Palace of Slaanesh, a monument to perpetual lust, excess, and debauchery.
I saw the Princeling of Chaos, and he was nourished by your cravings.
We can't move on the first turn, but we must travel through these 6 circles of seduction: avidity, gluttony, carnality, paramountcy, vainglory, and indolency, entering portals and either fighting or avoiding demonic legions as we progress. So our game plan here is to hit it and quit it, just how the Dark Prince likes it. Get in, get what we want, and get the hell out before we get jumped by armies of demonettes screaming our name. We are ignoring the survival battle required for completing the end game. We are not progressing all the way to the end and fighting that quest battle. We can catch up on that later with the 2nd or 3rd Roar of Ursun. At each portal, will be offered gifts from Slaanesh, and as you go deeper and harder, they get more and more orgasmic. And I'm really not kidding. Some of these buffs are insane. Instant casualty replenishment map-wide for 15 turns, and a huge chunk of cash. Followers, they grant you 30% extra movement range, 50,000 gold, plus 50 diplomatic relations with every faction on the map, plus 200 growth for every settlement you own, for 20 turns, and 75,000 gold. And then there's this, the Circle of Carnality. Wanton acts of depravity are everywhere you look. Buxom maidens and impossibly handsome men fornicate. Flesh quivers, organs mesh, the moans of ecstasy. Won't you join us? Spread that seed, baby, for the paramours are always fertile. Plus 200 public order, map wide for 20 turns. Like, this stuff is ridiculous. But there's one item in particular that we are searching for here, and it comes at the very end of this journey, right before the final quest battle. Now remember, this is the first Roar of Ursun on turn 35. A lot of players will still be rocking tier 1, tier 2, maybe tier 3 units at this stage of the campaign. The Realms of Chaos scale in difficulty, so they will get more dangerous as your playthrough progresses. So if you go to Slaanesh's realm first, like I am here, the armies can still be dangerous, but they're nothing compared to what you'll face if you come here during the 4th War of Ursun, where you'll face full stacks of tier 4 and tier 5 units. That's just a balancing mechanic, so you don't get face rolled in the early game. Also important to note, the drops at each circle are partially controlled by RNG, and they don't make it particularly easy to save scum either. So while you have some control over what you get, if you're playing on Legendary, for example, you could potentially get screwed a bit if you're going for something specific and it doesn't drop because you can't reload a save. But at last, we enter the Circle of Indolency, and here, the weapon we wish to claim for Miao Ying is unlocked. 20% ward save, plus 30 melee attack, plus 500 armor-piercing damage, unbreakable, and 75,000 gold on top of Slaanesh's blade. This will turn the Storm Lizard into a goddamn Loch Ness monster. But going all the way to the final circle isn't even necessarily the best choice. It's just with Cathay, we're already about to get tier 5 Nangao at turn 40, because their growth is bananas, we'll show why in a minute, and we're already in a stable defensible position, so growth, for example, is less impactful here. We're already in a great spot. For some of the other factions, 200 growth will skyrocket all your most important settlements to tier 5, which could save your ass on higher difficulties and make your playthrough a hell of a lot easier. So, now to talk a little bit more about Cathay itself, now that we've escaped the Chaos Realm and returned with 100,000 Lamborghinis in our Lamborghini account, and one of the pimpest weapons that you ever did see. Miao Ying is a force. She'll be unstoppable in battle with Slaanesh's blade, and more than that, the start's secured. We're rich, we're relatively safe, and the most important settlements in our empire are already high level. As expected, and I think a lot of people were expecting this, just based on their start location, being at the edge of the map is a huge boon. Gives them a safe buffer to expand their base and get off to a good start without being inundated from enemies on all sides. But you don't want just a good start, you want a great one, and that's what we just secured ourselves by going to Slaanesh's realm. That extra 75,000 gold lets you play tall, boom economically, and invest in your infrastructure, get all your tier 5 buildings up quick, rather than needing to expand hyper fast and paint the map your color. Of course, 100,000 funds will help you get aggressive if that's the route you decide to take, but it gives you more options and a comeback mechanic if you maybe didn't quite have the start you wanted. Big thing to note here though, and the reason why we're already in such a strong position before hitting up the Dark Prince, is this harmony mechanic. When the Empire is perfectly harmonious and you've balanced your heroes, lords, and buildings so that yin and yang are the same value, the buffs you get are crazy good. That plus 40 growth stacks with the Wuxing Compass that gives you plus 15 growth per each settlement in a province, so you can pretty easily get Nangao or Hanyu Port to tier 5 before turn 40, which is really fast, especially compared to some of the other factions in the game. Plus there's the Ivory Road mechanic, where you'll want to max out the cargo every single time, and you make serious cash from sending caravans to Marienburg, or Castle Drakenhof, or Ehrengrad. Cathay is an economic powerhouse. They grow insanely quickly when you balance your buildings appropriately. They're just kind of beastly, and I think they are the go-to noob-friendly start. If you want to get into Warhammer 3, if you're playing it for the first time, it's your first campaign in a while, I think Cathay will probably be a good option for you. I mean, really the only downside we have from going to Slaanesh's realm is that negative trait, and we can get rid of that simply by parking her in Nangao for 2 or 3 turns. There's a 50% chance that whatever negative trait you earn from being in the Realms of Chaos will disappear if you end your turn in a capital city. So what we're going to do is play a battle here and show off what Milady can do after humping 69 dudes into submission and grabbing the blade of the Dark Prince. Important thing to remember, I'm running stacks I would not run in an actual campaign, because I'm limited by this 50 turn embargo. So I had to just get something out there so that I could fight at and around turn 50. I normally would wait till I hit tier 5 with Nangao and have all my tier 5 buildings, maybe be rocking a full stack of sky junks, something like that, but at the moment, not viable because we're too close to that 50 turn embargo. So, not a big deal, because Miao Ying has a 20% range increase to all units in her army and increased missile damage for all her troops as well. This build has a ton of firepower regardless. Bunch of crane gunners, couple peasant archers, and a lot of artillery, including 2 Celestial Dragon Guard, 1 with the crossbow. So, this would be a really bad army if we got ambushed, but not really worried about that because Chaos Tribes aren't particularly good at ambushing troops. Let's fight a minor settlement battle and show you guys one of the cooler maps I've seen in Total War in a long time. Yeah, I mean, just aesthetically gorgeous. Gorgeous. Awesome playing space, and it's not even an actual siege battle, it's just minor settlement. This is one of, like, I don't know how many layouts they have in the game, but it's way more than we ever had in Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 combined. Like, this is sick. Actually awesome. What I'm curious about is how the AI will handle it, because in some of my minor settlement battles so far, they have kind of shit the bed, in others they have performed quite well.
The power of a dragon and the might of Nangao, we can only prevail.
Yeah, so speeches are back, kind of. They're like that. They're usually very short, but you can hear them no matter where you are on the map. And they're flavorful, they're fluffy, they tie into whatever lord you're using in that particular battle, which is pretty cool. I love how she says Nangao. Miao is mommy, as I always say. I love her, and I love her even more when she has Slaanesh blade. So, dragon time. Dragon. Dread the dragon ball. Okay, so we're gonna get Omega Shenron up in here. Look at those stats, man. 100 speed. 1.1k weapon strength. 90 melee attack, 50 melee defense, and unbreakable. Now, there's only one spell we can use while we're in dragon form, which is a little bit sad. I don't really agree with the decision. I personally think that there are lots of powerful characters already in the game, already in Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. They can mount dragons and use all their spells, so I'm not sure where they felt would be too powerful here. I would like to be able to cast Regrowth while I'm in dragon form, but at least it forces you to sometimes use your dismounted on-foot character, and I guess that makes sense. They want you to sometimes use them in their base human form, and you wouldn't if you could cast all your spells while a dragon. Talons of Night is super good, though. Look at that vortex in the background, and we'll lay that up with some Sky Junk Fire, which is a flying Hellstorm rocket battery, essentially. Lacking a little bit of the AP, but 600 missile damage, even before Miao Ying's buffs come into play. There's a tower up, so I'm going to kill that, while my 20% ward save Unbreakable Dragon with godlike stats continues to rampage in the center. And we're going to play this slow and steady, mostly ranged focused here. In fact, I only have 1 melee infantry, so just blow shit up, playa. Have Mommy Meow kill that tower. Some of them aren't particularly dangerous. Some of them, when they're piercing or magical or one of the higher tier towers, can really mess up your army if you're not paying attention. And what they do in a lot of situations is actually force you to progress quickly. And that's where melee infantry kind of comes into play, because I don't want to enter the town. If I did with my crane gunners, they would die quite quickly to Chaos Warriors and all that. So I'm content to sit back, but the towers can sometimes force you to get your ass moving. Took a little bit more damage there on my Sky Junk than I wanted. So I'll Meow deal with those Marauder Horsemen. Blow out some of those Chaos Warrior Halberds. And you can see right now that AI is using the whole map, but in this case, I'm not sure it's in a good way. They're not really flocking to engage what's there, and I think it's mostly because I haven't moved anything that's on the ground into this first marketplace area. But to be honest, I'm not even sure they'd fully commit anyway. God damn. Look at that Talons of Night. That's such a cool looking spell. Dragon Claws reaching up from the ether to rip and tear until it is done. Okay, so I might move my Celestial Dragon Guard up soon, just to see if I can get some enemies to engage, but I do have to be careful. I have 4 Fire Rain Rockets, and the friendly fire from those could this could hurt me a lot, so do have to be careful. There's a lot of Trolls and Chaos Warriors to deal with. Halberds move up to the center, try to get my Crane Gunners in a spot. Now, this is one of the issues with running a full ranged build. Yes, you can kind of cheese the AI, yes, you can still do the ranged meta thing, but because of the way the Might Summon battles are typically set up, you won't always have line of sight. And because, again, they're using the whole map, sitting in the back, I can't shoot them all, don't have line of sight on them all, and so I will be forced to move some of my ranged troops into the city, where then they'll be exposed to troll charges and stuff like that. So, do have to be cognizant of our positioning here. And again, play it slow and steady, because I'd love to get out of this battle with minimal losses, of course.
Stone and steel. Understood.
Train gunners, bringing harmony.
It is a bit weird that the AI can just bypass their own blockades like that. Not necessarily sure I agree they should be able to do that so easily, but I guess purely from a, hey, let's try and make the AI actually function, I guess it makes some sense. So again, Miao Ying will kill off this tower. Celestial Dragon Guard about to get charged by Trolls, but they've got Halberds, so I will take that all day. More Chaos Marauders coming up. And yeah, I should be able to focus fire over the top of the walls, kill off these Trolls quickly, hopefully with minimal friendly fire damage. You will notice that Cathay Infantry tends to stick in formation. There is a button we can toggle to break that, but it's literally a stay in formation button. So even if you get engaged on the flank, they will still try and keep their rectangular formation instead of blobbing up and collapsing from the flank. Aspiring Champion's now charging me. Interesting. You know what? I might go for a bomb here. It's not going to be a good bomb, but just want to see it. It'll be 100 seconds before the AI rebuilds that first tower. Trolls are routing off. Miao Ying has predictably taken pretty much no damage whatsoever. Bit out of formation on our Celestial Dragon Guard. Let's pop another Talons of Night, maybe. Yeah, I think we can. Oh, they're dodging it. And I have no way to cancel it, so that'll be a wasted one. But we have Arcane Conduit, and we have the extra magical reserve, so we can really cast an insane amount of that spell. And I think killing off even a full Marauder unit is probably worth it. The AI's not going to blob here. They're coming in one at a time. They're coming in piecemeal. Which, I don't know. What do you guys think so far? I have seen some aimless shuffling around, and I am seeing a lot of reserves that are doing nothing at the moment, but that probably works to the AI's benefit right now. It means they won't get killed by AoE spells and by all my artillery. If they were to all to collapse in on this plaza, I would kill them very quickly. So I shifted to Dragon form with Miao Ying, so I could give my Celestial Dragon Guard a regrowth, get them healed up nicely. Big ol' bomb. Pew! And she still has, what, 90-60 as her baseline stat? 95-60, 930 weapon strength in human form with the Slaanesh's Blade. So, yeah, I don't really have to be in dragon form here. It's a little bit better, but I can throw her in, and that low profile against trolls is actually, in some ways, even better. The voice acting for Cathay is a little bit caricature-y. It's a bit funny. Yeah, that's gorgeous, man. We hearten them, but it's a slow grind right now. And what I think we might do is maybe have Miao Ying head up towards the main capture plaza after we kill off this rank of Chaos Warrior. Oh, she just dunked on him. MJ, free throw line dunk. 1985 style. Pop Wrath of the Storm. Kill off this tower again. Yeah, I'll send her up to try and kill their lord. And capture that point herself. And then start moving my crane gunners into the main part of the city.
Order and the balance. Understood. Shenyang is faithful.
Oh, here we go. Big old bomb time.
Yang sends us
This one might hurt.
immediately.
Woo! That was 2,500 damage instantly. Alright, that's actually sick. Okay, their lord's dead. That's good. It's starting to run out of Winds of Magic pool here. But
Cathay.
Praise the dragons.
it's all coming together.
Without
Took a little bit more damage than I would have liked on my crane guns.
harmony, never conquered. Never.
Tower's just wearing them down, I guess.
The storm gathers. Set by
Alright, I'll have Miao Ying deal with the Chaos Marauders up top, and I've got a gorgeous firing line now. I don't know, I'm actually curious what you guys think in terms of how the AI is defending this. There's been some meandering, and overall, I would say that throwing units one at a time at you isn't the best strategy. But it's maybe not the worst one either, especially if you're rocking this much firepower and AoE wave clear.
The celestial daughter.
I don't know, I've seen worse, I've seen better.
Peasant archers.
I'm interested in how they're programmed. It does seem like they prioritize defending every single possible capture point in a city, and they will dedicate a certain portion of their forces to that, even if you aren't threatening capturing it. And that's the part I'm not sure I agree with.
Praise the dragons.
Like, they have so much of their army on that back side, and I have nothing over there. I don't know why they feel the need to defend that. I'm not threatening capturing it with anything. Celestial Dragon Guard beginning to get worn down here for sure.
Archers.
But Chaos is running out of bodies at this point, and those crane guns done a good job killing towers, actually.
Praise
And killing off the armored, shielded Chaos Warriors. 40 seconds, that tower will be up again.
Guided by ancestors.
Definitely adds a different dynamic to the siege battles when the tower you destroy can come back.
archers.
Because they will automatically accrue
Fight as one.
resupply points. And the only way you can stop them getting those resupply points is by capturing the resupply objectives, which are right now behind blockades. And this army is not about capping points because I don't have melee troops.
Gunners. Restore order. Guide us.
So you can tell CA took some steps here to try and encourage the melee side of the game a little bit more, but we'll see if that actually ends up how it plays out in practice. More units streaming over, more Chaos Warriors, and they're about to get caught in just about the worst crossfire imaginable. That'll hurt. And that is army losses.
For the Emperor.
Well, those guys are all pimped out and blacked out too. By the way, yeah, some of the camera work when you hit N, for instance, or insert, big FPS drop. So there's still some optimization still to be taken care of. Remember, the game's coming out in a month. It is a development in progress. There will be some changes made. What exactly will get changed from now until release, I have no idea. Let's save that in case we do any cinematic stuff. Not sure we will. And let's head back to the campaign map, see what's up. So, lost 138 men, mostly from the Crane Gunners and a few Celestial Dragon Guard. Ended up killing, well, close to 2,000. And big value from the Sky Junk, which is an amazing unit, and I think will be a Doom stackable one. 19 of those bad boys with Miao Ying will not be a joke. And then Miao Ying herself with 300 kills. A lot of loot. So we'll probably just end up sacking this. Yeah, 4,000 damage value on Mommy Meow. The Celestial Dragon of Nangao. Sack it. Back to F up.
The storm
Maybe go back to Nangao and get the rest of that negative Slaanesh trait gone. I reduced it by 5 leadership and control negatives, but I need to sit in there for maybe 1 or 2 more turns to get rid of it fully. But yeah, that is Warhammer 3 campaign. Cathay, probably the best starting location in the game. You'll see Zhao Ming tomorrow, and he might have an even better location than Miao Ying does. But we can jack on all the stuff. Celestial Beacon to tier 5. Celestial Armory to tier 5. All of it to tier 5. And we've had an amazing start. And it really all starts with the Slaaneshi realm. So, hope you guys enjoyed this look. So much more campaign and multiplayer gameplay coming your way very soon. It's an exciting day, exciting time to be a Warhammer and Total War fan. And I'm having a blast with the game. It's not perfect, but I'm enjoying it. Hope you are as well. See you next time.